Welcome back, everyone. You Mutator here, and it's game number 5 in Myth Kickballers Week 6. It is the week where Kruniak squared off with Giant Killer General, and yes, it is Capture the Flag yet again. It is Lichen Unto Death, which is not a bad map, but I don't know if I like it so much on Capture the Flag. I think it's I don't know, it's a little bit boring to me, probably just because I don't know why I find it all that boring. Maybe it's because I haven't really played it on any other game type lately, so I can't really compare it with, say territories or something. But I think something with flags like territories would be a little bit more interesting. Just because units are going to spread out around the map a little bit better than they do with Capture the Flag. As it is with Capture the Flag, you have, a large force heading, either north or mid, and then, the other team's doing kind of the same thing. And somebody sneaks around or something, and one of the flags gets taken out, or there's a poor engagement and everybody retreats back to the flag and then they die. There's not like a whole lot of I like maps that, or I like games where you see kind of a creative use of the terrain, like people are moving around the map and there's a lot of things going on all at the same time. I find that with Capture the Flag, you don't really get that so much. You get that a little bit, but it's not as much as what you get with like a territories game. And also, what you get with something like King of the Map, which I'm really excited to see how that works in a competitive setting. I can't stress enough like how fun that is. It's kind of a breath of fresh air, to be honest. Anyway, that's going to be shipped with 1.8, which right now it's in bug stomping phase. So I guess they're pretty much done with the features for the time being, and they're just trying to get things straightened out in terms of where it stands right now, being finalized. And I think both these players are going to have near identical trades, if not straight up identical. Yeah, looks pretty similar here. No archers at all. And yeah, pretty similar trades. I think it is identical. And if you're asking, well, what's the point of these trades? Point is basically that you have a lot of goals. You're going to have pus. This is the maximum number of whites you can have. So that's going to be 4 pus goals. Plus these goals can just run around, or they can make, these dwarves can make dud bottles for the goals to pick up, and then you can have that in addition to the pus. So that could work out. Also, it's going to have Thrall for defense. Thrall are pretty worthless otherwise, just because Thrall take forever to move across the map. They're really not, I don't know, you're not going to see them used in an offensive manner on this map very often. Other than that, it's going to be maximum warriors and maximum dwarves in addition to the general. Now the reason why that is because the dwarves can do a carpet bomb maneuver with the general. So the general can lay down at force field, and the dwarves can stand inside the force field. And when they use their attack, basically, it gets propelled through the force field, and it can basically take out archers. So there's really no reason to get archers on this map because of that ability that players exploit. It's not really an ability; it's like a quirk of the physics engine that players have learned to utilize. Basically, by virtue of the general. Now, in this particular game, we were screwed early on by, let's see, I'm moving across the map. I didn't think this dwarf would do that, but he did. And took himself out and hurt my guys a lot. And I'm like, "Doe, that's not good." All of a sudden, I have like 3 very nearly dead warriors. And that's pretty much all I have. I have like a dwarf in addition to that. So we're down a dwarf. We're down, melee strength, basically. We're down in a lot more ways than seems to be indicated by the percentages. And that's kind of a moral, I don't know. It's kind of a hit to your morale. Like once that happens, you almost just want to give up. You're just like, that's not fair, like now we have like this uphill battle, and they're at 100%, full strength, full capacity, and we're here, struggling, and we have fewer units, and our units have less health. So once something like that happens, it's really hard to turn it around. So there's that going on. I'm gonna zoom out, and I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller so that we can see some more of what's actually happening here. We got Funky, we got Sam the Butcher. They're going to be kind of this southern force. They're going to be coming up against Murkerdon, but Murkerdon doesn't really have a whole lot to kind of push that away. He has that dwarf, but other than that, all he has is that pus. And if his dwarf gets taken out, he's going to be in a world of hurt. Meanwhile, up here we have Dom squaring off with Rower. And kind of a similar thing, Rower is outnumbered here by Dom. And actually, no, Thor Elite is here. So Dom has like pus, but Thor Elite is kind of doing his own thing. And Rower is kind of all by himself. So I think our north is also kind of at a disadvantage. And our mid, I don't even know what's going on. HW is going to try to back up Rower, it looks like. And it looks like our mid is okay for now. Not too much has happened. But yeah, just a stalemate here in the south. In the north, we have some stuff happening. But I don't know, HW and Rower against... Oh, that would have been a great pus, but it was a dud. Shadow actually came in, and Dom picks it up, although both of those are taken out by Shadow, I think. So it looks like we're doing great here in the north. Looks like we're doing fantastic. But for some reason, I don't know, later on it just doesn't seem we're able to capitalize on that. Yeah, I think Shadow moves away. Rower's going to pursue, but he's all of a sudden super outnumbered. So he needs to like turn around. There he goes. And yeah, how are we doing? 83, 87%. So we're about square, I guess, to how we started the game after a certain point. And it's this point at which it's this push on this middle force that just goes sour. Like, I wasn't really sure what we hope to accomplish with this. And here's a Giant Killer General. He's going to try to make it rain here. He does get that dwarf, so beautifully placed shot there. And losing that dwarf hurt a lot. And he has this stuff. These goals aren't going to be able to make anything happen. I don't have any pus. All I have are these stupid bottles that don't really do anything. They just bounce off the dwarves. So we're not doing a whole lot here in the mid. Meanwhile, in the south, what's happening? Or in the... Yeah, this is the south. Looks like there was some stuff exchanged here. It looks like Funky's going to move in on Merc. And it looks like Merc is taking some losses. Dak and Sam the Butcher are going to try to work on each other, but Dak has a dwarf, and it looks like there's a dwarf here for Professional Killer. But all of a sudden we're down, what, 13%, and our mid is just collapsed. Like, there's nobody here. There's literally nobody there anymore. So I'm like, uh-oh, I gotta get out of here. I think I stray a little bit too close here to that edge. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to just retreat. And I think one of my warriors ends up getting focused down here. He had hardly any health anyway. I probably should have run to Kruniak though with that warrior, now that I'm thinking about it. Meanwhile, what's happening over here? We got once again Funky and Professional Killer basically capitalizing on this flank. They're going to try to move in on this flag at any point here. Dak is going to retreat on home. I'm going to attempt to retreat home, but I'm being pursued here by Kirk. HW is going to try to intercept, and I guess we could have rushed on this force here. But that, we just didn't have that kind of coordination this game. I think HW instead is going to try to turn around and take out, looks like Thor. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Cremisi, not HW. Okay, well that was dumb. But yeah, we end up losing a lot of units to Cremisi and Kirk. So Kirk, I think, gets a nice shot off on my stuff here, just because I'm really dumb. And I don't know if I'm mistaking people's colors or what happened exactly there, but yeah, there's just nothing that we could do at this point. We're like 20% down. Our northern forest didn't really win. Our southern forest didn't really win. It looked like we were doing okay, and our middle forest got kind of crushed. So we, our forces just weren't utilized to their maximum advantage. Dak is going to end up running away from that goal, that pus goal there. And here's another one that's going to be gunning for him. So he's surrounded. Here's another one. He ends up throwing that down. But yeah, these only had bottles. Although, oh, huge! That was massive by Kirk. So Kirk just creating a ruckus. And Cremisi getting some damage on his with his dwarf. And yeah, it's looking pretty bad. It's looking not good at all. We do have a couple of these warriors over here, HW, but he has nothing to back him up, so he's not going to be able to take that flag. Had we like a dwarf that slipped through, that might have been a different story. But I don't know. I just don't know if we could have slipped one through. It's possible. But yeah, I just don't know. I think we just got off to a rocky start, and we weren't really able to finish it strong. Interestingly, Cremisi with -1 damage, but Kirk posting the numbers here: 20 kills by one player, 71 damage. That's pretty monstrous there. So he had a great game. And players on our team not so great. Our player that posted the highest damage was Dak with 30, and that's not very good at all. But that's gonna be the best on our team. Anyway, Rauer had -3 damage. I guess it was his dwarf that basically decided to hit my warriors. Although that was a complete accident. I don't really fault him for that. It was just one of those things that's, you can say what you want, but that's kind of what happens with the engine. Sometimes you have these bad luck moments where things don't work out the way that you had anticipated, and that happens quite often with a game like Myth. Anyway, that's going to be it for this week of Myth Kickballers. Giant Killer General is going to take the match at 3-2. Kruniak, unfortunately, his team kind of let him down here in the fifth game, and maybe in some of the other games as well. But but I think he put up a pretty valiant effort. So yep, that's gonna be it, and we'll see you in the next match.
Team eliminated. Game
whenever that might be. By the way, sign up for the Winter Series when you get a chance.